Tulsa Public Schools recently announced a new initiative to improve attendance in the district. According to Superintendent Dr. Ebony Johnson, chronic absenteeism is close to 40% for the district, while the state average is 20%. Pediatrician Dr. Cyrus is here with us this morning to talk a little bit more about the importance of your kids in school, but also when you should keep them home because they're sick. Welcome, great to see you.
Great to see you. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about, school absenteeism and attendance. I mean, as a parent, it's tough trying to navigate, do I take my kid? I need to go to work, all of those things. But there are some guidelines that you need to keep in mind.
Well, yeah, you're right. When you think about whether your child is ill or not, I always say that to the parents, can they participate? If they're ill enough to stay home, they should be, in bed. They should be resting, things along those lines. And so it makes it kind of a good guideline to say, can they participate in school? Can they get things out of school? If they're going to go to school and just lay their head down on their desk and sleep half the day, then yes, they should stay home.
Yeah, that's one of those things I remember, as all of us growing up, if we had a fever, we were like, oh, good, this is good. These were kind of those benchmarks. It's like, if this happens, I'm going to be all right. Let's go through this list on the full screen, because these are kind of just the guides if you need to stay home when it comes to a cough, sore throat, fever, flu, or diarrhea. Kind of hit some of those marks.
Well, when you think about the cough, if it's a mild cough, they can, have a Kleenex, or they can have a handkerchief or something to cover their cough, then yes, that's fine. It's not a problem to go to school. Sore throat, if it's a mild sore throat, obviously if they're running fever that is over 100.4, a lot of people say, oh, well, they ran a temperature of 99.9, so they're going to stay home. And really, that's not classified from our standpoint as a fever. They may be warm, but if Tylenol could be helpful, that's fine for them to go to school. Coming out of COVID, everybody, if you had just literally a runny nose, everybody stayed home, and so they're still running on those rules. And we find that if you stay home with a runny nose, half the population during the wintertime going to stay home, and we see this exponential absenteeism.
Right. And okay, so we do talk about the kiddos making sure that they get in to see the doctor, they make sure that they're getting their medication. I know it's a tough call. Parents have to go to work. Do they take the kid or not? Those are kinds of what they are struggling with. Okay, the kid stays home. What's kind of the process after that in terms of making sure that you stay in contact with the teacher, make sure you're getting their schoolwork done, because a chronic illness, a chronic issue can prolong or impede their education.
Oh, it puts them extremely behind. A lot of people are concerned that, oh, my child's going to get behind, but yet they don't reach out to the teachers and they don't reach out to the schools to get assignments so they can, maybe help their child stay at least up with the curriculum. But the idea here is that you do definitely want to make sure that if your child is sick, see the doctor. We have flu and strep and COVID and RSVs all going around right now. We don't want that. We want that to be, stay at home, if you will, and not be spread. But if we can treat it with an antibiotic, or we can treat it with symptomatically and get the child better, that's much better for the child to get back into school. And a lot of times when they're out for a week at a time, then there's anxiety, or there's other problems that, oh, I'm so far behind, I'll never catch up. And, and really there can be tutoring, there can be extra help from the teachers. All of those things can help the child stay in school and up to grade.
Yeah, and a lot of the things now with Chromebooks and the accessibility to virtual learning, there are ways that you can have those conversations. But the key is to make sure you're checking on your child, not only physically, but emotionally and mentally, to make sure that they're ready to navigate. Anything else you want to add before we wrap today, Dr. Cyrus?
Well, it's the big picture, just like you described, looking at them from all angles and making sure that you keep the lines of communication open and, again, help them so that they can help themselves.
I appreciate it. We will catch you again next month. Dr. Cyrus, local pediatrician, we appreciate your time today.